Hello and welcome back to our course on creating a 2D character for Unity. So in the last lesson, we had just planted the feet on each of the keyframes that would be required for our walk cycle, matching it to our reference over here. In this one, I'm going to concentrate on the upper body, particularly on the arms. So I still have my snap to keyframes here turned on, so it will snap to any existing keyframes that we've got in the animation already. And up here I have show sprites and lock sprites turned on, which means that I can see them but I can't select them. And show bones is switched off, and lock bones is switched off as well, which means that I can move bones, but I can't see them unless I hover over them, which is actually good enough for what we want to do here. So I'm going to just pose the arms first. So if I again hold down Shift, and I've got my IK setting there. Oops. Let's pose that arm first of all, and let's go. I'm looking at the reference here, so let's go up to about here. This is kind of the peak of this forward swing. So I'll pull that out like this and bend this down a little more. And if I scrub back through it and turn off the snap there, you see that at the 200 millisecond mark, it swings back up. So something during the creation of this reference here caused me to have keyframes on some of my other bones. So I want to fix that now, right? So if I press my snap to frames there, and just click on one of those bones, you can see that if you pull up your timeline here, you can see the list of bones and the individual keyframes applying to them rather than to the global animation. And sure enough, my elbow and hand and shoulder front all have a keyframe on frame 200. So let's just delete that. So I'm going to just select each of those keyframes and delete them from my just by pressing delete on my keyboard. So now if I swing through this, well, I can delete that one as well. That's a stray one that got in there. Okay. And now just looking at it, I can refine that later, but I just want to get, again, like as I did with the foot planting, I just want to get the proper main keyframes in here for these arms. So I'm just going to pull this down again, and if we see, which we inevitably will see, that swing back up here, we'll fix it later on, but at least we know what we're doing now. So in fact, just a note on the snapping to frames. Obviously, since these are just frame by frame animations in our reference, we only need to see the snap to frame mode because we don't have any tweens to work with in our reference. These are only just individual images like a slideshow. So yeah, you can see that one's popping back out there. Frame 600 or 600 milliseconds. So yeah, it's these front ones. And we want to move it back here as well. and swing it the other way. Okay, so we press play now. Okay, so let's block in the other arm. So the arms will be pretty much just swinging side by side. And this one has the same issue, which is it's popping back up again. But let's just get these main ones in here first. And as you can see, if you're looking at the reference, I'm kind of exaggerating some of these a little further, but I said that you would tend to do that if you're following a reference that's over to the side rather than if you're tracing. If you trace it, you'll be a slave to it. So I much prefer to leave something to the side like that, and just add little extra movements as I see fit. I'm less likely to do that if I'm tracing it. So where are we now? Okay, so I'm just scrolling with the mouse there. Okay, so we want the back, shoulder, elbow, and hand, and we want to remove these frames here. In fact, I might as well just remove them where I can see them. You can see them in this column here. So, because I've only edited 400 here, not any of the others. Okay, so let's just pull that one out there, and I'm holding Shift again. I'm putting a bit more of a flop in the hand than there is in the reference as well, just to see how it goes. Okay, and as you can see, I mean, I haven't edited much here. Well, in the next lesson, I'm going to add little bits of anticipation and follow through, and little bits of secondary motion as well. But I'm not really focused on that here. I just want to block in the key poses. So one thing that you notice as well, if you look at the reference image, which is coming from 3D, even though it's being captured from the side and from an isometric point of view, we are getting like rotations on these box shapes that you can't get easily if you're just using flat 2D images. So, for instance, there's a twist in the hip and rib cage here that we can't do here, but we can fake it a little bit. For instance, by just moving a bone like that, we can exaggerate the rotation a little bit and hint at foreshortened volumes and things like that aren't really there. So okay, so let's maybe look at the head then, right? So the head can bob up and down a little bit. But not too much. How does this look? Let's move it down there. Maybe the frame after the pelvis comes down. And that carries a little more weight in it. And again, the frame after it, the pelvis goes up. You could move the head up slightly. Okay, so in the next lesson, I'm just going to wrap up this walk cycle, and after that, then we'll start moving into Unity. So we'll see you in the next lesson.